Hi guys, welcome back to the bungalow. Welcome to a brand new video in a brand new year, 2026, the year of the fire horse. All of those ideas and goals that you had or started thinking about last year, the energy of this year is all about propelling you to action them, to make them happen. Acceleration is the key for this year. I'm already feeling that energy, even in February. I am so excited for this year and I hope that you are as well. I am also aware that James and I, my husband, have also entered the 5th year of having started this, what is for us a life-changing project. Hopefully at some point in the not so distant future, this will become our family home. If you've been watching, you would have seen us enter this somewhat put together house, and slowly but surely we peeled back all of the layers of all of the surfaces in every room, had found what we thought were exciting discoveries which turned into issues that then had to be rectified and sorted out. All of the electrics got taken out, all of the plumbing, radiators, put underfloor heating in, and then a new screeded base. All of the rooms had been plastered. We live here now, and there was a time when we were travelling up and down from Maidstone, and that was a very privileged position that we were in. But to now be here and having lived here since August 2024, we're in the right place. We should be really proud of what we've done so far, and we are. And I think this was the best move for us. This year, although I am aware that I did say this exact thing in a tour video last year, but I do genuinely feel like 2026 is going to be the year that we move into our main bedroom. We are having our front extension built. Got someone teed up to start work on it, start breaking ground in a couple of weeks' time. So front extension is going to be worked on this year. That's going to completely unlock space for us. And we've been busy, I have to tell you. I've been working my little butt off, selling things on Facebook Marketplace and doing a bazillion tip runs and giving things away and just trying to clear the space as much as possible. And it's looking really good, if I do say so myself. I will also be very vulnerable and transparent with you. I might not be coming across like it, but I feel quite shy today. I haven't done this in so long. I haven't spoken to you for a camera in so long, and it's scary. It's something that doesn't feel very natural to me. And so to get back into the flow of video making and documenting and talking to you, in today's video, I want to talk to you about the hallway, because that's had the most energy, the most time, thought gone into it. It's also the room that I feel the most proud of. It's the most updated space. It's been a bit of a roller coaster, and I, now being on the other side of it, kind of find it funny. At the time, it wasn't. At the time, when you're just trying to get progress moving on, oh my God, it's been so frustrating. The front door to the building, to the house. We took that out pretty early on. I really regret us doing that. And now being a little bit more seasoned in this game, that was a bad move. We should not have taken that front door out, because now we are trying to get the porch removed, demolished, and of course can't just have an empty gap. We had teed up a carpenter guy who was going to design us a Art Deco style door with like stained glass windows and lovely beautiful Art Deco trim. He did our internal doors, hung them, got them ready for doorknobs. It all just seemed like it was going well. He was going to go away, design it, and then come back to us and do a bit of a back and forth and quote us and yada yada. He unfortunately, for whatever reason, ghosted us, which was a real shame because we liked him, but he ghosted us. And so we were like, okay, let's regroup. Let's go on Facebook Marketplace. We're big advocates for secondhand, and there's something quite nice about having something authentic to the era. Found what we thought was the perfect Art Deco door, and the colour of it was beautiful. So we decided to take the trip over to Wembley. Bear in mind, we live in southeast Kent. Picked up this door, it looked perfect. Brought it back. It was a heavy door. Thankfully, I've got some really lovely neighbours that helped us get it into the house, and we leant it up against our bench in the hallway for a few days. after a few days we realised that there was a slight warp, which was a bit worrying, and one of those things where it's like, oh, have we wasted our time basically on this door? We had another guy come who was installing coving, got coving in the hallway now, and he basically took one look at it and said,
you're going to have to cut off a lot of that, and that's going to affect the structural integrity of the door.
To us, our untrained eyes was like,
oh yeah, we already knew we had to cut off some, like it's not that big of a deal, surely, like it'll be fine.
Not fine. He was like,
yeah, no, that's not going to work.
Okay, we've driven all that way. Thankfully though, I was able to sell the door for the exact amount that I paid for it, so that is now somewhere in deal. Now we are waiting for carpenter trades to get back to us. We've got a few through Check a Trade and another one that's been recommended to us by another carpenter, but that's where we're at with that. I also have put doorknobs on all of the internal doors because best believe there was a time when we didn't have that, so you would have to claw around the door and open up that way, which it's surprising how easy you get used to things not working and that just becomes your norm. And now we've got these lovely antique brass doorknobs on, and it makes it feel a bit more refined. And I just love how they fit in so well with this Art Deco 1930s storybook whimsy aesthetic that we're going for. I also just mentioned that we've got coving. Having all those period features really does mean a lot to us. So we've got beautiful wooden coving installed, and I've painted it in like an off-white to complement the silt colour on the walls. Both colours are from Little Green. I am such a Little Green advocate because the quality of the paint finish is always outstanding. We also had, and I mentioned this in the tour video as well, that we needed to cut down the bench because we knew that it was too long for when the eventual front door will swing out, it would catch it. So the bench has been cut down. It's been painted a few colours. If you've been on my Instagram, it was literally, I think, 4 or 5 different colours just because I was trying to figure out which one was the best. It's just in this really lovely like dusty but bold blue. I love that it just cuts through the warmth of that silt wool colour. I'm not entirely happy with the paint finish, if I'm going to be honest with you. At some point I do want to sand down a few parts of it and start again, but that colour is the colour. And I'm now starting to look at fabric samples for the cushion, and I think I found the one. It's the Eden Tree of Life print designed in like 1929. That's what I'm looking at the moment and thinking, yeah, you might be the one, you know. Next thing was tiles, floor tiles. We just had at one point so many offcuts of tiles on the floor and none of them were clicking. There was one, I think it was called Emperador, which was kind of like a chocolatey taupe. And for ages I thought that was the one. But I was like getting into a bit of a tears because it was too close to the wall colour. So yeah, we eventually scrapped all of that and we found this beautiful, it was an investment. We've gone for a milky white marble tile with beautiful veinage and then a complementing burgundy rich wine colour. We're going to place them in a diamond format and it is the hero design of the entire space. Oh, they're so stunning. The tiles are here. We just need to get the front door in to take the porch out, sort out the floor, and then we can then put in architraves around the door frames, skirting, and yeah, all of these very exciting things. But that's just a step by step we have to follow. We'll get there. Hopefully this year is the year. And then the last thing that happened, or the 2 last things that have happened, I found a console table to replace the in-between one. It's got patina and markings of use. It's just beautiful. I just love it so much. On the opposite wall to that, this whole expanse of just emptiness. I have always, when it comes to the start of the year, looked on Pinterest about projects I want to start. I love handmade heirloom pieces, and I've always wanted to try my hand at quilted patchwork. Been a bit scared, to be quite honest with you. It's very technical, very refined, and this year I have started this patchwork quilted wall hanging, and I want it to be huge. I'm using fabric samples I've collected. I'm just trialing as I go. It's a lot of me sewing something and sometimes having to use a seam unpicker to start again. But I'm really happy that I've just started. That's kind of a stumbling block for a lot of people sometimes of just starting. Like, just start, even if you don't really know what you're doing. Just start if it's awful in the beginning and you have to go over it, but at least just start. That's a project that I'm aware doesn't have a deadline yet, because it doesn't matter. It's going to grow as my confidence grows with it. And the final part of the hallway that I want to show you, I had designed it and refreshed it into our coffee nook. And I was really proud of that space, because initially it was just where our cut up dining table was. It just didn't look pretty. It wasn't us. So I turned it into a coffee nook with this beautiful mid-century sideboard that was living upstairs. It was hosting all of our plates and crockery. And we started using that space to just chill out. And then a scroll on Facebook Marketplace later, one of the pieces that I've been dreaming about owning came up not that far away, and it was £91. And when I tell you, getting a Welsh dresser for £91 is not something that you just like scroll past, especially one that was very close. Where that is, it's going to be part of the hallway when we do eventually do the back extension, and so the Welsh dresser needed to be slimline. I got very, very excited the night before it came, and I made sure that I painted the rest of the breeze block around it. This piece is just, it's an heirloom. We're never getting rid of it. It fits perfectly in that space. There's just no need to buy anything else or even entertain the idea of anything else being there. I really like the combination of browns and pinks, and so I decided to paint all of the walls in this ganache and went for a soft but dusky pink, and I added some Matilda Gold brown knobs on them, and it's just so beautiful. I just love it so much. There's a few parts where we didn't have doorknobs for a bit. You can see like nail marks. So that's the next job I have to do on that, actually, is to sand down what I've done so far and just add a couple of more coats on. So yeah, we have gone through a whole process of that hallway. Apart from that, adding a few more additions to our gallery wall as we've been to Thailand and Singapore over the Christmas break. I'm so excited for more. I'm so excited. I have already got another video idea planned for the next one, so I hope you are excited to come back and see what else has happened in this bungalow by the sea. Thank you so much for watching. It's so good to be back. I shall see you in the next one. Bye guys.